Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 10 Modded Minecraft, where yes, I am in a default skin because reasons. Literally have no idea why. I guess the game started in offline mode even though I am currently online. It makes no sense to me. Makes no sense. But it is what it is, so we're just going to get on with it. So, last time we were working with extreme reactors, and we wanted to get some cyanite, both the liquid version and the solid version. So I left this guy running. It was generating both the liquid and the solid, but only one at a time, and it took priority to liquid over solid. So I built another one. Smaller one, but another one. So this guy is also running as best as he can for his size, and it is producing a amount of cyanide, yeah. Yeah, words, I'm getting it mixed up with cyanide and cyanite. Yeah, you can see my confusion, but either way, they're running, they've been generating. In fact, if we look over here, I found a way to actually get our energy shown. That's a big number. That's 77 giga. Or in layman's terms, hundreds, thousands, million, billion. 77 billion. Billion energy. FE energy. And that's not even a sliver. Not even a sliver of what this thing can hold. This can hold 14.4 trillion FE. So yeah, it's sitting there, it's generating power and cyanite. So yeah, that's nice. It's actually produced quite a bit of... Hello? Oh, thank you, game. It's actually produced quite a bit of cyanite. 22,000 things of cyanite. And 32 buckets. Except it actually hasn't. Between these two, I only produced maybe 9, 10 blocks of cyanite. Yeah. Yeah, no, that wasn't a lot. So, I just went ahead and went back to Old Faithful. And by Old Faithful, I mean bees. So, I did go ahead... Oop, leg. I did go ahead and make a new set of bees. I made us some cyanite bees. They're actually pretty easy to make. If we look them up. Cyanite. These guys are simply made by taking radioactive bees and a block of cyanite. And that's it. Yeah, that's literally it. So, just plop these down. Had them give me some by, using our good old time wand. So yeah, we got quite a bit of stuff ready to go, and it is processing. It all goes through here, goes through the system, yada, yada, yada. So now that we have that going on, we can actually go to the next step, which is reprocessor. So we need to process this cyanite into plutonium, because then from plutonium, we can reprocess it into lutecrite, lutecrite into radiculite, radiculite into inanite, and then inanite is where we actually then turn this into a block, and then to insanite. But insanite, we are going to have to go down a whole nother rabbit hole. So yeah, that's gonna be fun to get rosinite. So to get started with processing all the way up, we need to make plutonium through the reprocessor. Now, I have actually made all the crafting recipes for it, so we just gotta build the thing. And thankfully, it is a pretty easy build. It is a 3x3x7 structure, so it's literally just gonna be this big, right around this, and then just a little tall. Nowhere near as big as those guys. And I might even have to make one bigger than those later, but that's for later. So we just need to make a base of 3 by 3, not you. And then, oh, I forgot some, but we are going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we are going to cap this bad boy off. And then we are going to have to bring down the sides in casings. It can't, just like with those guys, it can't be anything else. It has to be the casing on the sides. But the middle pieces can be like glass. So something a little like this. This is what it's going to look like in its, height and width. And we're going to end up having a bunch of these reprocessors. One for plutonium, one for magentite, for ludicrite, not graphite. Oh, hello there. A little bit of radiculite, maybe Insanite, and not Insanite. Now, for the rest of the parts, the reprocessor has these specific requirements. These 3 have to be on, or well, these 4 technically, have to be on any vertical face. So this, or this. They can be anywhere amongst these. They just have to be on there somewhere. And then the waste injector, though, has to be right up there. So, whoop. Went a little too fast. And then this guy, the collector, actually goes down here. So it would probably be wiser to put this up like 1 or 2 blocks, but I'm probably just going to collect everything through the RS system, so I don't need it shown. But we can slap this guy here, the controller on the front, the power in the back so we don't have to see it, the fluid, let's say the right, and the output on the left. Yeah, I think that'll do, because we're basically going to be sending this out into one of those guys and then back into another reprocessor. So yeah, going out to the left, we'll just have a chain of these going down. And then the waste processor, or waste injector. And there we go. That's the machine. We just need to fill in these empty spaces with either casings or glass. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 16 pieces of glass. Okay, I've got this set up to where all we should have to do is place these blocks in, not you, and it should assemble. Okay, I was expecting red particles, I should say, like that does, but no, it just started working. Okay. Now, I won't lie, a little confused, because that guy is the collector, but then this is the output port. Are they doing the same job? I'm a little confused on that now. I was talking about it just a minute ago and then thought about it while waiting for this, and I was like, wait a minute. But either way, what we need to do is we need to send a cable here to export the cyanide in there. And then for this one specifically, we need to export water into the top. No. Yeah, vice versa. Cyanide up here. So let's go down here while I have it in here. We want to put water into the fluid injector, and then cyanide in here. So now, yep, we're getting cyanide put into the top, and water's already filled up. Now all we should have to do is slap a gate on the back here, and it should start processing. Power, oh well, we gotta turn it on. And there we go. We get a nice little animation of it dropping, but it's not actually dropping. It's just showing in an animation. And there we go. 4 plutonium. What's the bottom actually collecting? I just had to think about that. Let me disconnect that. Reprocessing collector. Okay, I thought I broke something else for a second. HOPPER. Hopper. Oh, I think I get it. I think I get it. So, if I'm kind of understanding it correctly, it's technically dropping this, the water is charging it into plutonium, that's catching it, and then it's outputting through here. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Now, is that going into the system? Yes, it is. So we need to make a thing of its own. And actually, I'm pretty sure. Oop. Pretty sure plutonium can be used for bees as well. Yes, we can make plutonium bees. How do we get these guys? To acquire this bee, look up the crafting recipe for its spawn egg. Of course. Here we go. Plutonium spawn egg bee. We need a cyanite spawn egg. And we need to reprocess a cyanite bee spawn egg, and it'll become a plutonium. And this becomes a ludicrite, radiculite, inanite. Okay, it's all. I'm just gonna need to like halt a process real quick and then let this do its job on bee spawn eggs. Or I could let this run for 16 years and get all the plutonium that way. This? Bees. This? Bees. I don't know. This seems to be doing a pretty good job. I mean, it's already produced 42, so... Alrighty, so just like before, I've got another system set up, except it doesn't have all the excess bits. All I've got is a controller, a fuel injector, fuel export, and solid fuel export, so I don't need any of the fancy other stuff. But this one is filled with plutonium, and it does not say that right there. It'll say it right here. Yep, plutonium. So the plutonium is going to be going in. It's, I believe, going to create liquid depleted plutonium, and then it should create something else. But if we turn it on, oh no, it's creating liquid magentite. How do we... I guess I'm going to have to create liquid plutonium through another means. But it's got its own way of doing that, so I guess I'll do that. But we are getting magentite, so I can take this, put it in a fluid drawer, and then we'll be all good. But I will be exporting all this stuff into the system once I get it all set up. But I'm just going to fill up this tank. It's a basic tank, so it should only hold like 16 buckets. And then once that fills up, I can get some of the solid stuff and we can create filters. And then we can repeat the process where we take the magentite, run it through some plutonium, and get... Nope, I've gotten my things all mixed up because I have to go down like 2 different routes. One route is this route where I turn plutonium into magentite, and that's, I believe, how we get the rosinite. Okay, we do need the magentite for the ludicrite to turn into radiculite, and then to also get a radiculite B. But yeah, and then there's another thing we got to do before that with the plutonium in a reprocessor. So yeah, it's just a bunch of like this goes to this, but then it also goes to this, but then that goes to this, and then goes to that, as well as then it goes to this, and then it's a lot of back and forth, and then sidestep, and then back and forth. So yeah, let me fill this up a little bit, get what we need, and we'll start on the next one. Oh, but speaking of, to actually get this amount of plutonium, I did go ahead and create a bee, and we are producing quite a bit of plutonium. And I'll be doing that for each one, so I won't be, showing it every time. It's just, no, yes, I am going to be making bees in the process, and that's something we've already done. So I'm going to make some jump cuts as we jump in between things. Alrighty, a little bit of progress has been made, and I mean a little. It's not a whole lot of progress, but a lot more understanding has come about. So again, we've got those guys. We got uranium turning into cyanite, cyanite over here turning into plutonium, plutonium going into there, becoming magentite. And then over here, we've got the plutonium becoming lutecrite. Now we're going to take the magentite fuel, or not fuel, but the magentite liquid. We're going to put it in here, and the lutecrite in here, and that'll give us Insanite. No. Right, magentite and lutecrite. Yeah, the magentite and the lutecrite will give us radiculite. And then we will need radiculite and rosinite to make Insanite. Now, there's been a couple times where you'd see that Insanite doesn't have, or rosinite doesn't have a recipe. That's because it doesn't have a physical recipe. You actually have to look at it through here, Extreme Reactors. Here we go. By using a fluidizer, we can combine plutonium with uranium basically, to make viridium. When viridium is used as a fuel in a reactor, it produces rosinite as a reactant. So we need to make the viridium. Now, to make a viridium, we need one of these guys. These are fluidizers. I am using one to take cyanite and make more cyanite liquid, because that guy was not, or not that one, that one was not keeping up. But now that I've made this, we are. And it's a simple 3x3 or bigger machine, so like kind of like those, it can expand up, but there's not really much need to go beyond a 5x5, and honestly may not even need to go beyond a 3x3. So I just made a 5x5 for aesthetic. But this guy, this is where we're going to take the solid plutonium from there, and technically bees. We're going to pump it in here, and we're going to pump uranium into this side, and it'll give viridium. Then we'll take another one of those guys, slap it down here, and it'll give us the rosinite. Oh, hi, son. Oh, hi, son. You jumped up a lot higher. Like it was there, and then all of a sudden it's there. But yeah, let me hook those things up, and I'll be right back. Well, another little monkey wrench has come into play, and that is for the Insanite actual ingots, we need 16 beniotite. Guess what I don't have a lot of? Beniotite. I've got, between these 3 and 1 in my system, a total of 4. So I am going down the bee route. Now, thankfully, beniotite bees can reproduce amongst themselves, but they can also be converted from blaze bees with a beniotite ore. So I'm just barely able to do this. So I need 2 of the ores for creating them, and then 1 ore for them actually to be able to make the beniotite. Because if we look at them flowering, they need the actual ore, not the crystals. So yeah, I'm over here, and I'm going to be making some of these little beniotites. And just a simple way is just put these guys in a stasis chamber. I don't know why it doesn't take effect immediately. We need a cage. Gimme. Boop. Boop. And boop. There we go. We got 2. Now these guys' genes are kind of not great, so I'm just gonna put them through this guy. I've got a very high, diurnal, and normal. So, oh. Apparently something is still different between these guys. I don't know. Either way, these are just breeder bees, so they will be going in here. These are plutonium bees. There we go. No, no, there we go. And then I just need 2. No, actually, no, I only need 5. What am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, those go and end up in there, but let me put the breeder bees up in there. And there we go. 5 adult beniatite bees. Now we can set them up in here and get them running. Whoa, buddy. After a little bit of time, some things have been done. Doesn't look like much, but we now have cyanite into plutonium, plutonium into magentite, and to lutecrite. Yes. And then lutecrite and magentite into radiculite. Radicite. Or Yeah, radiculite. And then radiculite is going to go into with rosinite into what are you? Not insanite. Inanite. We'll be making inanite right there. But over here, I did have to supplement again the magentite. It is, you know, not producing very, very fast, but this is just a backup. So, yes. Or no, this is just a backup. We have bees producing everything. This is just backups, you know, to actually get the process started before I can get to the bees. But these are doing their thing. And then this guy, we've got plutonium and uranium ready to go to start making our viridium. Now I am... What the heck? I thought I saw a glowing effect on something, but I guess it was just the weird glitchiness of the sun. Oh, right. It is going into a tank. Oh, wow. It makes a bucket at a time. Does it make a bucket at a time or 2 buckets? Let's see. It makes 2 buckets at a time. Okay. I can actually stop this now. So this is now going to just start. I hate that I put that on there. This is just going to start filling up in here for now while we go back to the other side and make a slot for this so we can then put it in there. And this is all I've been doing with the different fluids. So we're storing cyanite, magentite, and now viridium in here. 6 buckets. And then we lock the drawers and add it to the system. So it's locked. And now it's in the system. So now anytime I actually look in here, viridium, there we go. There it is. Now we do have the ingots that are being made over here. We have the plutonium and the magentite right there. But these guys right here, the lutecrite and radiculite, these guys don't actually have like a simple block version. You actually have to use a block plus or an item plus these to make their block variants. So that's why they're there and those are there. But with all of that hooked up, we can now send this into our system. It won't be sending very fast because it's just a regular importer on the back. Yeah, so it's just, is it sending it in? Yes, it is sending it in. Very slowly. But we should see our viridium has gone up. Yes. Look at that. 25 buckets already. And it's still slowly draining in here, but it is draining. But now, it's where we take that viridium. Here we are, viridium. Take this, throw it in here, and it should start to fill. Yep, it is filling our reactor up. Now, I won't turn this on until it's full. And it's going to take... How many buckets? 576 buckets. That's a lot of buckets. That's a lot of iridium. That's a lot of plutonium and uranium. But yeah, once we turn this on, this will make the rosinite. We'll then send the rosinite over into there. which will then make the Insanite, and then we can make the Insanite with the bees from there, and then we need to make the Insanite as well with Rosinite. So you're going to be pulling double. I may need to make another one of these. I may need to make like 2 more of these things. Head and turned it on, and I may or may not have, meant to only like let it run for like 5 minutes and then check and see how it was doing, and then got distracted and may have been away for a couple hours, and now we have 352 buckets of Rosinite. Yeah, 352. This actually produces Rosinite very quickly, and surprisingly, the fluidizer is actually keeping up with the supply of iridium. Like, we're actually at a bit of a surplus. Like, we're slowly gaining over time. I think it is. Yeah, see. Oh no, we are at a net negative, but like it's just barely a net negative. So yeah, this is keeping up with this for now. Like, if I wanted to, I could add another one and it would absolutely keep up with it. We'd actually be at a net positive. But we want to come over here and actually start putting that Rosinite in here. So, Rosinite. Oh, wait, no, not that one. Not that one. That one. We want this one to start filling up with Rosinite. Yup. And then same for over here. Rosinite. Okay. So, we have the Radiculite loaded in, Rosinite in, and this will start turning into Insanite. And then this... Oh, this one does not have power. I forgot to put a gate on this one. Boop. Gate acquired. But then the Rosinite to make the Insanite is Beniatite. Right. We want the Beniotite. Boop. We might actually want to put some stack upgrades on that. And turn it on. And we should see this becomes Insanite. So we are now making Insanite and Insanite. Yeah, that's actually kind of crazy. So, how are we doing over here? We are a net negative, but just barely. So if I were to do another one of those and maybe a smaller one of those, we'd be fine. But we're just going to make those for bees. Actually, what am I talking about? I don't need those to be bees. I can just turn this off here in like a couple seconds because this is all I need. I got the Insanite, and now I have the Insanite. That is another block checked off for the All the Mods star. All right. Philosopher's Fuel. I think that might be the last one. Philosopher's Fuel. Nope, it's not the last one. We got 2 more items. The Smelter Prism, either a Blaze Burner or Uranium Quad Fuel Rod. Probably going to go with the Uranium just because I want to play with Modern Industrialization. I can easily get a Blaze Burner. But that's going to be about it for this episode. We've actually hit the time for today, and we actually got all the way to the end of Extreme Reactors. So, thank you all for watching. I've been Dorkman191, and this has been All the Mods 10, Mod in Minecraft. Bye, y'all.